quiet that saves us, a story of the mind, the monk, and a mouse. Long ago, deep within a forest untouched by merchants or noise, there lived a monk. Not a monk of temples or robes gilded in gold, but one who had chosen solitude, silence, and stillness. He lived in a cave, bare, quiet, open to the wind. One evening, as twilight folded gently over the trees, a crow flew overhead and dropped a small creature from its beak. A mouse, injured, shaking, nearly lifeless, tumbled down at the monk's feet. The monk, with hands both calloused and gentle, picked the mouse up. He placed it beside a bowl of rice and sat beside it, watching the breath of life return in fragile rhythm. From that day forward, the mouse lived with the monk, no longer chased, no longer alone. The mouse grew stronger, rounder, content. But peace, as it often does, was interrupted. One morning, a forest cat spotted the mouse and lunged. The mouse escaped, but just barely. It dove beneath the folds of the monk's robe, trembling. The monk stroked its fur. He whispered, "You fear because you remember powerlessness." And with that, he chanted a mantra. The mouse became a cat, but fear did not disappear. Now a cat, the creature roamed freely, proudly, until a wild dog spotted her. Again, she ran. Again, the monk whispered. Again, transformation. Cat became dog. Then one day, a tiger appeared. The dog trembled. The monk chanted. The dog became a tiger, strong, feared, untouchable. And still, fear did not end. Even as a tiger, he was not at peace. One day, a hunter's bullet cracked through the silence. The tiger fled, not wounded, but terrified. It returned to the monk's cave, hiding behind the man who had once protected a trembling mouse. For the final time, the monk spoke his mantra. The tiger became a man who could speak, who could reason, who could walk upright into the world and call it his. He left the cave. He dressed like others. He visited the nearby village. He sat in markets. He made friends. For a while, it seemed, the journey had found its destination. But thoughts are seeds, and some seeds rot. This man, who had once been a mouse, began to worry. What if the monk tells people who I really was? What if they laugh? What if they look at me and only see whiskers? This fear, so small at first, grew teeth. It bit into his pride. It gnawed on his sense of peace. And one night, the man made a plan. He picked up a knife. He walked back into the forest. He found the cave where the monk had once whispered safety into his shaking form, and he raised the knife. The monk did not scream. He did not run. He looked into the man's eyes and saw the mouse again. The same fear, the same trembling. Before the knife could fall, the monk whispered a final mantra. The man shrank, back into paws, fur, whiskers, eyes wide with horror. A mouse once more. It fled into the underbrush, into silence, and was never seen again. You see, the monk never gave power. He gave form. The mouse had been a cat, a dog, a tiger, a man. But in each form, fear found a new shape to wear. Because power is not what you hold, it is what you master. And the most dangerous thing to leave unmastered is a thought. A single jealous thought, a flash of anger, a passing fear. If we do not tend them, they grow. They shape how we see, then how we act, then what we become. The mouse was not destroyed by the hunter, or the dog, or the tiger. He was destroyed by a thought that said, "They will laugh at you." He reacted to a fear that hadn't even happened, and that reaction cost him everything. Today, we live surrounded by triggers. Jealousy on a phone screen, rage in a headline, fear in a passing glance. We react, we scroll, we compare, we panic. And like the mouse, we forget that our strength lies not in what chases us, but in whether we chase it back. To not react does not mean to be passive. It means to be powerful. It is to pause, to witness the thought, and then choose your response. A monk does not turn stone into gold. He turns a moment into mastery. So must we. When the world provokes you, pause. When the fear grows teeth, breathe. When your thoughts tell you you're not enough, do not let them speak without being questioned. Because one thought, if left alone, can lead you back to the cave and turn you into the mouse again. If this story gave you something to reflect on, subscribe to Stay Inspired 86, where ancient truths meet modern minds.